back to share another read aloud with you. Today I'm reading a book by an author that a lot of us are pretty familiar with by now. His name is Dr. Suess, and the book is titled, "And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street." As usual, I want you to think about the message that Dr. Suess, the author, is trying to share with us. What is he trying to teach us? It's a funny story, and there's lots to notice, but I want you to think and feel free to re-listen to this book to think about the message he's trying to teach us. Sound like a plan? All right, let's get started. And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street by Dr. Suess. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, "Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see." But when I tell him where I've been and what I think that I've seen, he looks at me sternly and says, "Your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales." Now, what can I say when I get home today? This is Marco taking off for school. All the long way to school and all the way back, I've looked and I've looked and I've kept careful track. But all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. So this is what he saw. That's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse? That can't be my story. That's only a start. And I'll say that a zebra was pulling my cart. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Yes, the zebra is fine, but I think it's a shame. Such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame, meaning a cart that's kind of careful. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw were a charioteer, a gold and blue chariot. That's something to me, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. Notice how his cart and animal have changed. No, it won't do it all. The zebra's too small. A reindeer is better. He's fast and he's fleet. And he'd look mighty smart on old Mulberry Street. Hold on a minute. There's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that runs on wheels. He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. A reindeer in a sleigh. Say, anyone could think of that. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say, even Jane could think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. A sleigh and an elephant. Now there's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size. A blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes. And then just to give him a little more tone, have a Raja with rubies perched high on a throne. Say that makes a story that no one can beat. When I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Again, notice how things are changing. But now I don't know. Still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light? It would whip around in the air like a kite. But he'd look simply grand with a great big brass band. Band meaning musicians and music instruments made of horns. A band that is so good should have someone to hear it, but it's going so fast it's hard to keep near it. I'll put on a trailer. I know they won't mind. And if a man sits and listens while it's hitched on behind. But now is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet that those wagons weigh more than a ton. That's really too heavy a load for one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He'll need 2 at least. Noticing that he's adding lots and lots of things to this wagon story. But now what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into Bliss, meaning Bliss Street. Unless there's something I can fix up, there'll be an awful traffic mix-up. It takes police to do the trick. To guide them through where traffic's thick, it takes police to do the trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulvaney himself in the lead. So this is turning into something that resembles or looks like a parade. I think you really saw this on the way home from school. The mayor is there. He thinks it is grand. He raises his hat as they dash by the stand. The mayor is there, and the aldermen too, all waving big banners of red, white, and blue. And that is the story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Holy Christmas on a cracker, look at that. There's a lot going on in that picture. A Chinese man who eats with sticks, a big magician doing tricks, a 10-foot beard that needs a comb, no time for more, I'm almost home. So he's been thinking about this all the way home. There's a lot to see in that picture, so take a minute to notice. I swung around the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the steps and I simply felt great, for I had a story that no one could beat. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But Dad said quite calmly, just draw up your stool, meaning move your chair over, and tell me the sights on the way home from school. There was so much to tell I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and he pulled at his chin. He frowned at me sternly from there in his seat. Was there nothing to look at? No people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, meaning he felt a little embarrassed because of the story he had in his head. But just a plain old horse and wagon on Mulberry Street. I think that's still a terrific story he could have shared. So again, remember, tell me what you think the author was trying to tell us. What message was he trying to teach us? Sound like a plan? All right, when we chat next time, you can share with me. Until next time, have a good day, guys.